I'm currently a leadership educator for a company called Australian Leadership Centres, and I was raised an Anglican. However, I do no longer attend, but I do still hold some of the core values of my early faith, so the experience still resonates with me. Not least of all, a passion for social justice and treating all people equally. Now, I'd like to ask you a few questions, just hypothetically. What are you passionate about? What changes do you want? And what can you do to bring about these changes? So today I'm going to talk to you about why should you vote for the Greens. I'm going to talk to you about adaptability, change and action, and talk to you about how we're all capable of taking action to achieve the goals that we set out for ourselves. So my objective is to convince you that everyone has a say in what happens around them, and that everyone can influence the way in which this country is run. You'll be informed about my passions and be empowered to make a decision regarding your vote in this year's federal election. First of all, my passion. Why did I join the Greens? I love the environment. I've always been interested in the environment. I studied zoology at university, and I feel that neither of the two major political parties have any sound, measurable goals on reducing climate change and protecting the environment. I decided to join the Greens and run for federal parliament as I believe this is the best way to make a difference and act on my passionate beliefs. Why vote for the Greens, you might ask? Well, the Greens and Christian values go hand in hand. Our demonstrated commitment to social justice and to a fair and caring society is represented in our policies and our ongoing dialogue with the established Christian churches. The Greens want to lift giving to poor nations from 0.3% to 0.7% of GDP by 2010 and eventually to 1% of GDP. We seek to protect the weak, and vulnerable from neglect and exploitation. We treat refugees and asylum seekers with fairness, care and compassion. We have the best IR policy to protect the more vulnerable workers in this nation. We have strong anti-gambling policies, and we stand up for the principles of honesty and accountability in government, and we regard all issues and legislation as having a moral and ethical dimension which is reflected in our policy platform. Adaptability is an essential part of modern day society, especially for a political party. We have to be able to adapt to the rapidly changing demands of society while still catering to the essential needs of the country. Look at what we throw away in our society. If we look at what we discard, this can make it seem like our choices don't matter. If we don't like this video, we get another. If the candidate starts to sound alike, it doesn't matter how we vote. No matter what we do in the ballot box, nothing changes. We throw away people, throw away our children's future along with our mailboxes and our time. It is important to remember we do have a choice. Viktor Frankl, who was an Austrian Jew during the Nazi Germany, had everything taken from him. He was thrown into a concentration camp. He lost his family, his house, his life's work. He would be forgiven for thinking his life's choices were taken from him. He survived, unbelievably, for 7 years in the prison camp, and he credited his survival with his belief that everything can be taken from us, but the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. We don't have to blindly accept the millions of messages we get each day, telling us what to think, telling us what to buy, telling us what to believe about the major parties. The Greens put people before things. We suggest that we put quality before quantity in our choices, and I suggest, representing the Greens, that we put life before profit, schools before pork barrel politics, farms before special interests, and that we make the lives of our children, our grandchildren, the environment and the wealth of our nation top priorities in the choices this nation makes. The Greens stand for choice. What you do with that choice is up to you. Do you believe in what the major parties have to say? Does it fit with your values? If you are unhappy with how the country is being run, you can change how you vote. I hope you will join with me and take up the challenge to put people, families, our children and the wealth we have in Australia, our water, our air, our farms, our forests and our resources first. If you're unhappy with the way the country is being run, you can either whinge about it to your friends and family, or you can act on your beliefs and vote for the party that you believe is best to take this country into the future. As Dr. Viktor Frankl said, you still have the last of your human freedoms. Your vote, what you choose to do with it, is up to you. For those who don't vote, think about what you're giving up, the power to make a difference.